looks like we're up. Alrighty.
Yay.
Good for us. Good for us. We are up and we are live for the next episode of the GITN Podcast. Oh, let me move this a little bit so I can see it. All right, we will get started here in just a moment with this episode. We're doing UFOs, Travis. Maybe the most infamous UFO, I shouldn't say infamous, but one of the most widely viewed by witnesses at one time.
The most witnessed?
Yes, the most witnessed episode or event. That is what we are discussing in this episode. I believe it's 284, Travis. Oh,
I stopped counting.
I keep count because I have to number the file.
Yeah, that's fair. Did my seat go down?
No, you're just shrinking.
Well, my microphone's way higher.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll get started here in a moment. Thanks, everybody who partakes in these live streams. We greatly appreciate all 5 of you.
We'll see how long it takes for the...
My mother is here. Welcome, Mother.
We'll see how long it takes for the internet to go to poopy.
So, damn it, Travis. But we're taking a break from demons. We're taking a break from ghosts. And we're taking a break from true crime.
Oh, man.
What?
I've missed 2 episodes of Stavi Gets Ripped.
Never even freaking heard of it.
It's Stavros Halkias' attempt to lose weight every year.
Well,
or like every time he goes on tour.
If he has to do it every year, then he's not very successful.
He's like 30 pounds lighter than the last time he did it. I'll give him credit. Or, well, I don't want to say I'll give him credit. Well, yeah, you give everybody credit that tries. But I will say, legitimate task, if you think about it, trying to be healthy while on the road doing anything.
It's always a Chipotle.
Let alone comedy. I feel like Chipotle's not that bad, depending on what you get on it.
Right, if you loaded up that nasty-ass sour cream.
Yeah, like, especially considering when you go to Chipotle and you say light sour cream, it's still like an abundant serving of sour cream.
No sour cream is the appropriate answer.
No, you're just homophobic.
No, I just don't like sour cream.
Oh. Well, should we start so we can get into this stuff?
The day's events.
The things that we inevitably have to talk about.
Well, I'm not quite ready.
Oh yeah, we got to do the hook.
I got to do my little opening, then we'll address today's events, maybe go on a rant or two, and then we'll get into this.
Probably a surprising rant for some people.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Well, I don't know how we're going to address it. I haven't planned it out. It's still fresh.
We're still mourning.
But I have some opinions. And being old, I'm very opinionated. That's just the way, what happens when you get old.
I really only have an opinion on one thing. Because all the other opinions don't matter.
Right. All right. So, let me get a drink. I'll do my intro. Then we'll play the intro. Then we'll get this party started.
Get my grape Gatorade Zero.
Right.
I was never the giantest grape person, but I like this. It's weird. I like this flavor better warm.
That's weird.
It doesn't taste as grapey when it's cold.
I don't mind like even soda or whatever. It doesn't have to be cold. The only thing I have to drink cold would be beer.
I can drink warm beer.
I cannot.
I can chug warm beer well.
I cannot. I do not like warm beer.
I don't know if I would say I like it, but I can chug it faster. I don't know if it's out of necessity or preference. I think it's mostly just me being like, oh, this is warm.
All right, you ready?
Let's try this.
All right. Thousands saw it, a mild, wide V drifting silently over Arizona. Later, a second row of lights hung in the night sky, vanishing in sequence. Was it flares? Was it a jet or a group of jets? Or was it something we still can't explain? That is the question, Travis. That is what we will discuss in this episode of the GITN Podcast.
Superman.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the GITN Podcast, where we cover true crime, the paranormal, UFOs, like we're doing tonight.
Yeah, in a couple ways.
Yes.
And some current events.
We always do current events more often than not, and with
The events of today.
events of today, this will probably get cut out of the podcast version.
Nah, leave it in.
No, because of the day. I'm like 3 behind. This will be the third one. I still got 2 more episodes to get up
So
on the audio feed. It'll be too outdated.
people still need our opinions. People, surprisingly enough, people who listen to us, at least one person I know of that listens to us on Spotify, misses.
The longer version.
Yeah.
Well, here's my plan. We are going to naturally talk about what happened this afternoon with Charlie Kirk. We make a point not to get political.
Not to a point to
Because that's
split hairs and cause a fuss.
that is not what this show's about. We like to have fun. We like to joke around, cuss, inappropriate humor.
We have our political views and we're willing to share them, but
We-
they're usually pretty benign.
And I think I am more centrist, but I'm probably more right-leaning than you. That's a given. I'm much more right-leaning than you, probably. In the grand, if you look at it on a
I
spectrum.
think it depends, really.
But
I'm pretty gray area, but I have my rights and lefts.
we have to address. There comes a time where we have to take things a little bit more serious, and we will get into some shenanigans before it's all said and
With
done.
great power comes great responsibility, and this camera and these microphones are great power. Therefore, we have great
so-
responsibility.
Let's address the elephant in the room: the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
That was an assassination attempt.
Yes. A political one.
A political assassination.
Well, it wasn't an attempt. That was an
that's
assassination.
correct. You're right. It was.
He
not
is
a-
officially
It was
dead.
a successful attempt. We will go that.
We even talked, yeah, because like we talked about,
Um,
as unfortunate it is, that man was deceased,
before
in my
he,
personal opinion, before he hit the ground.
Before-
Unfortunately.
where to go with this? I mean,
There's one play. The only opinion I have that really matters is one. If you're out there applauding this action and saying you're smoking that Charlie Kirk pack, which is a term you're probably too old for,
probably. No, you're speaking. Are you speaking English right now?
or hailing the person that did it, or seeing this as a positive, good thing to have happened, go fuck yourself. Because whether you like him or not, he's younger than me, with a wife and 2 kids, and he's not a sex offending, like, murderous warlord, the type of person that I'm okay with you wishing death upon. And that sucks. And I don't know anything about his family, and I'm not a religious person, so I'm not going to sit here and talk shit out of my ass about how I'm going to pray for anybody, but I have positive thoughts and hopes and wishes towards his wife and his 2 children.
Which is prayer essential. If you boil it down to nuts and bolts, that is prayer.
Yes, I hope that
Positive, right.
his wife and children find some type of peace and solace outside of this when it's all said and done.
Right.
And it's fucking shitty what happened. And again, go fuck yourself. We're not like... It's like, he's a dude that had a view. Like, fuck off.
And this is what
I didn't agree with all the shit he said either, but when I saw it, I was like, well, that's fucking terrible. Somebody I was working with today, she doesn't like a lot of the shit he has to say. She agreed. That's fucking terrible.
basically, if you boil what he conversed about. He was a conservative. He was a Christian. And in today's worldview, that doesn't always isn't always popular.
Yeah.
Now, I've listened to him talk. I've watched a lot of clips over the years, really. And the one thing I will say about him, and I will echo your sentiments in a moment, is at least unlike most people with those opinions, he will debate you. And it is civil in most cases until you get, he would match aggression with aggression, which we all do.
Yeah.
But he wanted the debate. He wanted the discord, which you have to respect. And I don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. If you don't agree with him, I wouldn't say I disagree with him on a lot. I just didn't put as much priority in some of the stuff that he put priority in. Is a better way for me to explain.
He was a hot ticket kind of guy.
But
from what I saw, but at the same time, I mean, I've always said, I've seen a bunch of his videos. I'm like, dude, he probably talks about a lot more. You just don't fucking see it because nobody cares about those topics.
But I will say this: and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The people on the internet, and this is what I hate about the internet: you have the biggest balls in the world when you can say shit when you don't have any repercussions.
Right.
But what we have to keep in mind here, first and foremost, he was a son. He was a husband, and he was a father. And what happened today has changed the lives of everybody who knew him, who loved him, in ways I hope nobody really has to ever deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But people will have to deal with this.
And he was young.
Because
he was younger than me. I didn't know that.
Because here's the thing, and the most important thing is those two kids. I believe the 3 and 1. That 1-year-old, both of them probably will not have memories of their father now. Outside of TikTok and what's on the internet.
Which is arguably not the worst thing.
See, that's where you and I are going to completely disagree. He was not preaching hate speech.
No. I mean that they, I would find it harder to explain what's going on to my children than for my children to not even be able to comprehend it and not remember it down the line.
They're not going to have memories at all of this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I, as somebody who's lost a parent, feel like part of me almost wishes that parent was lost earlier, and I didn't have the memories.
See, here's the thing,
but at the same time, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know. That one's tough.
Because I remember we've joked about this on the past episodes. I remember when I had my stroke. Well, it was a year and a half ago, or whatever it was.
Some shit.
When I found out it was a stroke, my first immediate thought
was your kids.
Was my kids, and they're going to have there's a chance they might have to live the rest of their life without me.
Yeah.
And my kids were adults.
Yeah.
Or are adults. They were of drinking age at the time. Both of them, I believe.
Was your youngest daughter?
Well, she's like, yeah.
Was she?
Yeah.
She would have been like my age-ish.
Wait a minute. Maybe she wasn't. Hold on. Actually over a year and a half ago. It was 2 years ago. I'm sorry. 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think she was.
Yeah, so she was on the cusp. But that was
she was a little younger than me when my dad died.
That was my immediate where I went to, because I didn't think it was that serious. I'm like most people. I think I'm invincible. But I wasn't concerned about me when I saw the scan of the spot in my brain that was damaged. It wasn't about me. It was about them. And how,
the spot was shaped like the silhouette of my.
So, and think about people who get on the internet and are praising this act of cowardice, and that's all it was. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, to take somebody's life is not the answer.
Especially not somebody like that.
Right.
It's like I said, if it was a Somali warlord, I wouldn't bat an eye. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, I don't care about, in the grand scheme of things, if you want to kill somebody for having a difference of an opinion than you are the worst possible human on the planet.
you're a little bitch.
Exactly.
Like if somebody on if a dude who talks about abortion and shit on TikTok has you that fired up that you feel the need to do that or to get behind somebody else doing that, you're a bitch.
And here's the thing,
because here's the real thing is you're gonna celebrate this, but if it was fucking Kamala Harris or somebody else that got shot, it would be fucking outrage on your behalf. And then you would be responding the same way to the people on the other side of the street that are saying the same type of shit that you're saying.
Right. We need, as a civil society, to be able to have different opinions.
Dude, everybody, the whole world, they just need to take everybody in the United States and take a Republican and a Democrat, a right and a left, and be like, today's the day, there's no work. Everything is free. One Republican sits at a table with one Democrat, and you split a pitcher of beer, and you smoke a joint, and you fucking just realize that we're all human in the same world, and we just look at things a little differently. And that's fucking okay. One side doesn't have to be right, especially to the point that we're justifying and okaying the fact that a dude just got shot in the fucking throat on live TV. Well, it wasn't on live TV, but you know what I'm saying? Like just because you have differing opinions, and then it takes you to the whole thing of like everybody wants to talk shit about the settlers and the Native Americans or the Vikings or fucking Hitler or any of this shit. All of that shit was the same fucking thing. It was differing opinions that came to the point that we're gonna fucking kill each other. And if we're gonna fucking kill each other over differing opinions, let's try to not do it on fucking domestic soil.
I would say the Vikings are a little bit different. They were a little bit more violent.
They were awesome. Vikings did not actually wear horns.
It's just pathetic. But I don't go. If you are in any way happy about the events of today, like what you said, go fuck yourself.
The only way
eat all the dicks.
The only way you're catching me celebrating the death of somebody is if it's like the next Bin Laden. Like that I can get behind, or like the Oklahoma City bomber, shit like that. Like, yeah, like I'm okay with that. Or somebody that shoots up school. I'm fuck yeah, dude. They got his ass. I hope they kicked him around a little bit before they shot him.
And
you won't catch me on fucking social media doing it, because I just think that's on some other level pussy shit.
But you'll say it on a podcast.
Well, people are here. People that listen to this are here to listen to our opinions. Via social media, you're trying to force people your opinion upon people.
Because what I'll do, like I said, I'm probably going to cut this out of the podcast feed. This will be on the video, but I will probably cut this tonight into a short, or not a short.
I say we leave it in.
Well, like I said, I've got different things going on. I will cut this into a video in itself. That is what this will
PSA.
This will be a video all of its own, and it'll probably be released tomorrow.
A PSA,
and it'll stay in the live stream
from an older dude that traditionally veers a little more right, and a younger dude that traditionally veers a little more left. We're both saying, "Shut up, stop being a bitch." The dude died. His family has to deal with that. Fuck off.
I did watch a little bit of the press conference from the governor of Utah.
I didn't look into any of the shit. That's the only way I did know earlier than the actual release that he did pass away.
I heard it on
and
my
it's
way
strictly because of politicians.
But the governor of Utah, who was involved in the press conference, basically at the time they do have somebody in custody as we are alive here,
As far as we know, it wasn't the old guy.
It wasn't the old guy who was arrested. There is a person of interest in custody. They are questioning, but the governor was still making. We will hunt if they don't know if this person was the shooter, but he was saying we will hunt you down, and I love the way he ended that sentence. And you need to remember, say, looking at the camera, he said, "Remember, Utah has the death penalty." And here's the thing. I have been like a fish out of water with the death penalty. There was a time in my life when I was your age, I was hang 'em first, ask questions later. Now I'm a little bit more lenient because of the amount of people who are wrongfully accused.
The Innocence Project and shit.
But given this scenario, if they have 100% found, or when they find the person who is 100, I'm talking 100% proof, DNA evidence, fingerprints on the murder weapon, ballistics, all that happy horse shit. I think I'm down. I'm down with
for at least the option.
I'm down for the execution. I say, and I believe I don't know if this is true. I think there is still an option in Utah for the firing squad is the death penalty.
It should just be forced.
I might be wrong. I thought I heard that somewhere in the midst of my.
They should let his family do it. Now continue with the tradition of the blanks. I like that.
That way nobody knows who really.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's a sad day.
It's shitty.
For the fact that somebody lost their life over expressing their opinions in somewhat of a civil way. He wasn't Adolf Hitler.
He's not calling shots.
And ultimately,
like the Trump attempts, it was like at least that was on a presidential candidate.
Right. This was not.
That reads.
This is a political activist essentially, and
this is a fucking social media influencer to an extent.
Well, he had a project. And his
but
whole goal was to get young people to vote.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, to an extent, we're dealing with the Logan Paul of Republicans.
No, see, he was a little bit more fucking serious. The Logan Pauls and the Jake Pauls, they're more about entertainment and comedy.
Well, Jake Paul's about punching people in the face, too.
Yeah, 5'2" people that weigh 155 pounds.
Yeah, that's true. 44 for like 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao's.
Yeah, so, it is what it is. But it's a sad day. I would hope after 250 years, we have moved past our differences. It doesn't fucking matter. We can agree to disagree.
Nobody ever sees eye to eye on everything.
I mean, I think the world needs more.
Oh, damn. I think I was just slouched so heavily in my chair. That's why I was asking if my chair...
I think the world honestly needs to see more half-naked women dancing on TikTok. It would bring the world together.
I think we've talked about this. I think in all reality, the world just needs to stop thinking everything's so fucking black and white.
It's not. There's shades of gray, and the whole world.
I would argue, and I've had this conversation with like straight Republicans and straight Democrats, and probably a couple gay ones, but like most of the shit is gray. The black and white shit is just hot ticket stuff.
There's no
that really, for the most part, I don't want to say doesn't matter, but like. Isn't as day-to-day of day-to-day importance as most of the gray shit. Does that make sense?
And there are certain issues and certain.
Oh, my foot's asleep. Sorry.
There are certain.
It hurts.
There are certain issues and certain topics that do not have a solution, like abortion, racism. There's no solution. Those will never be solved.
And like people can, that's one of my kind of lefty things is
you can't
abortion. Like fucking, who am I to tell you what to do? I've never been the one that's dealt with it, but like,
here's the thing. I will share my views on abortion. I'll do it right now. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck what anybody does with their body. And I personally think it goes past more of women's health. In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But you do what you want. Now, if it was my child, we're going to have a fucking problem. You and I are going to have a serious fucking conversation. But I don't give a fuck if Jane Doe wants to have an abortion.
There should be just another "Are you sure?" question mark with a checkbox for yes and no at the end.
If you don't want to take, I get it. I understand it. It's not my place to tell anybody what to do with their body or growing in and out unless I impregnated them. Then I think I have a little bit of a say. I would like to be able to have an opinion.
Well, what gets me is all these people. My biggest problem with it is all these people that say it's against God. I'm like, okay, but how many of you people have vasectomies or is it a mastectomy?
Well, apples and oranges.
Well, but then you're making it so that you can have sex without having a child. That goes against God too.
Well, like I said, we're not going to discuss the Bible because the Bible is like the Constitution. It's up for interpretation, however you want to read it.
Especially depending on which version you're looking at.
What I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck.
It's whatever.
But I can say that and then say, guess what, though? You're still killing a human. That is still a person. I don't give a fuck.
Everybody do what you want to do.
It's still murder, but guess what? Sometimes murder is justified, I guess. Justifiable homicide.
If you're not going to make it through that's self-defense.
And ultimately, and here's the thing, when it comes to abortion, ultimately, it's not my price to pay. I can guarantee, there's only one thing I'm sure of in this life. I will never have an abortion.
Yeah.
Even though there's people probably out there saying that I probably could.
I haven't up to this point.
I mean, I don't think I can grow a baby, so I don't think I can.
Oh, no, like I've never had to be a part of one up to this point at all.
I mean, but I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell anybody what to fucking do.
Yeah, moral of the story is everybody stop being fucking assholes and think about the fact that human beings are attached to other human beings and those human beings care about those human beings and maybe chill the fuck out on going, oh, good, he's fucking dead. Shut up. Shut up.
And I reckon back to when that CEO of the, healthcare, what was it, United Healthcare got killed, got assassinated on the street of New York.
Yeah.
People were basically praising that guy too. If you praise somebody that kills somebody, go fuck yourself. Eat all the dicks. Bite my ass.
And I would even argue, like, the big pharma guy probably even still not as high on my radar.
Well, yes, but I still don't.
Because at least you can make the argument that he's actually fucking hurting people.
Yes, but doesn't give anybody the right to.
No, I agree.
Cold-blooded murder. Hey, that's what the justice system's for.
It's you just fight them.
Exactly. Throw hands, baby. If you get your ass whooped, you get your ass
That'd have been
whooped.
some interesting shit. That CEO
Probably.
like, fight me. He'd be like, no. It's just, where's my car?
All right.
What else?
That's it. I mean, prayers and thoughts and all that shit.
Like, fuck off.
I feel sorry for the kids.
Not the wife and kids fuck off. Everybody else fuck off.
I mean,
honestly, just turn off the ability to use his name on social media for a week and let his family do their thing.
And here's the thing. I hope, like when there was the assassination attempt on El Presidente to be, everybody was singing Kumbaya for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then hour 25.
They tried again.
It went back to basically calling for violence, and he's a threat to everything.
The Red Devil himself, me.
I hope, as a society, it can last. We can come together that say this is bullshit. Shouldn't be killing anybody over a difference of opinion.
Unless it's hand to hand.
Well, then
the way that the old gods intended it.
Yes. All right.
We're talking about UFOs. I showed you that video. What'd you think of that?
I'm going to have to research this. I did not hear about this.
Yeah, there's fucking a new UFO video that got hit by a Hellstorm missile and it bounced off and just kept going.
Went boing.
Yeah.
All right.
Look it up.
I will look at. Maybe we will cover
them.
It. Okay. Them. Let's see. So we're covering the Phoenix Lights. Probably one of the most witnessed events that has ever been documented, seen by more people over many, many hours.
More than, was it the Brazil one?
I think so. I think this lasted much longer.
Or the Africa one?
Here's a short little timeline, a little snapshot, if you will, of the timeline. I was first seen at 7:55, moving a V-shaped boomerang, your typical V-shaped, which has been popular since then, UFO or UAP, if you assholes want to get correct, which I hate. It moved across Arizona. First seen in Henderson, moved to Prescott and Glendale, and eventually to Tucson, Arizona.
When was this?
I'll get to 97.
Okay.
I got the exact date, I think.
Because I've always had a theory on this.
Well, we're going to cover theories, and this is not episode.
You're kicking the. I think you're hitting a cord for the wire, or you were. You're good now. Oh no, you hit the tripod.
That's the.
No, well, you hit something. It moved.
Well, whenever
I watched it because I think it's a better angle now.
Whenever you stomp your feet, it moves.
My foot was asleep. It hurt. I had pins and needles.
Anyway, and then later on at 10 o'clock, there was another sighting of something probably a little different. This case blew up just by the sheer number of witnesses and home videos. And later, the governor, who originally, we're going to cover this in detail, so don't get excited,
The fuck?
who originally mocked the incident in the infamous press conference, but later said he saw it and experienced it a few years later, about 10 years later, actually. And you have, naturally, the government came up with some shit and came up with a rational explanation, which we're going to cover Operation Snowbird. We'll cover that. Let's see. So that's basically what we're going to cover. And this episode is not going to be about, oh, this was a UFO. I truly don't know what this fucking was.
I know what it was.
I think the official story that the government laid out is full of fucking holes, like it always is.
As is tradition.
I think you can really pick it apart, but was this a verified, bona fide UFO? I'm not going to say yay or nay. I have some questions, and I'm going to personally reserve judgment.
Those are two of the three A's we don't say here.
What?
Yay, nay, and gay.
Yes. Okay. Let's start with.
I would have to say this story might be the third.
Let's start with the early event. It's called the Marching Bee, because not vagina.
Oh, V. I thought you said B for a second. I was like this, like almost like the song.
V for the shape of this so-called craft. Witnesses saw a V-shaped craft moving silently, blocking stars as it went by, the size of multiple football fields. Most of the witnesses felt like, and it appeared to them, that it was a solid craft. The first call came in at 7:55 Mountain Standard Time in Henderson, Nevada.
That's really big.
Hence the mile-wide UFO. This was a mothercraft if it was a UFO.
Yeah, but like...
Well, we'll get to it. Now, like I said, it was the first call, 7:55, was reported in Henderson, Nevada. The V-shaped craft was traveling southeast. At 8:15, it made its way to Paulden, Arizona.
Paulden?
Paulden.
Sounds like a name of a really nerdy kid in school.
Probably was.
Did you see Paulden got his tongue stuck to the light pole?
A former police officer reported a cluster of reddish-orange lights flying in the sky above him.
Okay, quick devil's advocate. What are the odds that this is just people being dumb and not understanding things in the sky and it just being a formation of jets? Especially in this area.
We are going to get to that.
Okay.
I cover all angles of this.
Or they thought it was way further off the ground and it's just a single B-2 bomber.
We'll get to that. That is part of the official narrative. I will go into much detail.
I should work for the fucking government.
But like I said, there's problems with that too. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I'm just saying, I could write way better explanations for the crazy shit that's unexplainable that happens in the world than the fucking government.
You don't have to explain shit. Say, I don't know what the fuck it was.
Literally, yeah. They're like, Mr. President, how do you want us to handle this? implore you to speak to the director of the CIA. Didn't happen.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
From 8:30 to 8:45, Prescott Valley, moving from Prescott Valley to Glendale or the Metro Phoenix area. The formation passed overhead. Some witnesses say it silently crossed the sky and blocked out stars, like I said earlier. In Glendale, it was high enough to obscure be obscured by thin clouds. So it kind of...
That's not that terribly high, though.
No, it's not that terribly high, especially lower thin clouds. That's not that
now,
high.
for it to be that big and be that low, that's nutso Magoo.
What people said they saw: a slow-moving boomerang or triangle V-shaped with 5 to 7 lights on the bottom of it. Often described as one gigantic craft bigger than a football field, reports saying closer to 2 football fields. And
that ain't no mile.
No, I'm being hyperbolic.
Hyperbaric?
No, not a chamber. Often described as one giant... Oh, anyway, bigger... Yeah, whatever. There we go. The black star claim is very interesting because it came from multiple accounts that the sky went dark between the lights, which, depending on visibility, but in the metro... And here's where I'm going to play devil's advocate. The closer it gets to a metropolitan area, light pollution, there's not much stars anyway. Now, out in the desert in Nevada, yes, that could be... You see much more stars, but closer it got to Glendale, where there's a lot of light pollution, you can't say that, I don't think.
And I would also, from my weirdly skeptical mind, even though I believe so much crazy shit, would posit the idea, what if this were a formation of like jets or something like that, could that not be potentially explained away by the exhaust fumes coming out of the engines of the jets manipulating the field of view for that small enough period of time as they pass by?
You're correct, but like I said, there's a problem, and we'll get to it. Now here's where it starts getting... We're going to start the process of getting into your issue right now. Amateur astronomer Mitch Stanley watched the lights through a 10-inch telescope at 60 times magnification.
That dude makes great cups.
And reported he could resolve them as separate craft. Different planes, not one, or different aircraft at this point, not one big mass. He followed them briefly and concluded they were planes. This is the single strongest point of fact observation in the early event. Now, investigations by the skeptical Inquirer, Robert Schaefer and James McGaha and Joe Nickel.
Was that like a publication?
I would assume so. Probably some online shit. Concluded that the Flying V was a formation of A-10 Thunderbolt II jets.
America.
From Operation Snowbird.
Fucking America.
Operation Snowbird was returning to Davis Monthan Air Force Base using a steady... Now, most people don't realize this. Military craft don't have the blinking lights. They're steady. They're always illuminated, from what I understand. They don't have the blinking tail lights and stuff. It's more of a constant light. The ETA over Phoenix lines up with witness times because these aircraft, the A-10 aircraft, supposedly, if they are real, it was a real event with the aircraft of the A-10 Thunderbolts. The timing kind of lines up over the witness statements, and has basically the formation would have been over Phoenix around the 8 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Landing around 8:45 at the Air Force Base. But if these were jets, why do so many people insist that the craft blocked out stars? This is a question. Now, maybe it was something to the fact of the exhaust from the jet engines.
God, I hope it was that thing. That thing just looks like freedom.
Yeah.
Now, exhaust.
like I was talking about, bright lights, city lights, and even the lights on these planes could be the reason why things were blocked out. The stars were blocked out. I believe it's called contrast glare. Big words here. Now, but here's where I have an issue. So apparently, you just brought up a picture of those. They have two big jet fucking engines on them.
Yeah, they look like balls.
So why? These were silent jets. At long distances, you could often see lights before hearing engines. Urban noise and wind aloft can mask the sound to a certain extent. But here's where I have a problem.
They'd have to be pretty low to clearly recognize the formation like that, and for it to be that big.
And being that low,
you're going to hear it.
You're going to hear it. We live by a small little airport with little private jets and prop planes. You can hear them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I
from
hate
my
it.
front porch.
Because some of them come in at weird angles, and I'm like, it's going down.
So I have a hard time believing that these were jets, these A-10 Thunderbolt 2s. I believe that the whole silent aspect of this story really throws a monkey wrench in that.
Oh.
Now, I'm always down for unknown military craft. I'm down for that, which I think a lot of UFO sightings, that's what they are.
Foo Fighters. Multiple levels of Foo Fighter going on here. Monkey wrench, UFOs.
Now,
what if all UFOs are Dave Grohl? His immense power.
I think you're overestimating his immense power.
He can play every instrument and fly any flying craft. He's an expert in bro rock and aerodynamics.
Sure. Now let's talk about the governor. The governor of Arizona at the time is an interesting character. Now, Governor Fife, Symington.
Get him out of there.
He was a former pilot and former U.S. Air Force officer. Later admitted he saw a massive delta-shaped craft, which is the V formation shaft.
Shaft. Yeah, he saw a giant shaft in the sky like Austin Powers.
It's got problems. But a delta-shaped craft, and called it otherworldly. Now, this was later on, 10 years later or so, 10, 11 years later. And now there's a reason why there's a reason. We're going to cover, we're still kind of highlighting. We're going to get the old governor here, really dive into him.
The governor.
Now, his later statements, and I believe it's 2007, 2008, do give credibility to the UFO narrative. Now, a truly mile-wide craft moving at 30 to 40 miles per hour would definitely defy any kind of known aerodynamic craft that we have.
Yeah, you can't move that slow.
Right. Now, but here's the thing. The bigger the craft, the slower it looks like it's moving.
But still, like...
I mean, there's...
Yeah, because they're also higher. You know what I mean? That's why they look like they're moving so slow.
I think the most...
Like you see a jet and you're like, it's barely moving. No, that bitch is going 500 miles an hour.
And anybody that's been in like a NASCAR race or even a sporting event where they've had a flyover.
Oh, yeah. Also that.
Oh boy, like I said, I went to the Bristol race. Them motherfuckers would buzz the fucking tire.
I went to the Indy 500,
and it is a lot of some of these jets.
Football games too. Shit. Wow.
But anyway.
Yeah, like that they're there.
Oh, you can feel them.
And like people are like, they were so low to the ground. They weren't that low.
But
they're low, but
like low enough to where you can feel the vibration.
Yeah, like they're low, but they're still probably a couple 100 feet higher than a lot of people think they are.
And I think the altitude of whatever this was, whether it was craft, our planes, or a UFO,
Robert Kraft,
play a big role in this. This is the missing piece of the puzzle. We can't verify because it changes things dramatically.
Right, yeah.
Is the altitude. Now, where was I? Now, like I said, no sound, no turbulence, no obvious from witness, no obvious propulsion from witness statements. That is interesting. Now, like I've always said, I put more weight into police officers, and I hate to say it, the governor's opinion, because he was a pilot in the United States Air Force. They're trained observers rather than them, some chiropractor from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Looking up saying, well, what the fuck is that, man? I'm getting a kink in my neck.
Some douchebag. They're like, this is Bill Spector. He was a witness on scene, and we've got him here live on Channel 5. Craig? Yes, Angela, I'm here with Phil. Blah, 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 blah. Goes down the line and gives you this like crazy detailed thing. Like it always happens.
Right.
The people on the news that are like giving this damning evidence, and you're like, oh shit, maybe this was really a thing. And they're like, so what's your aeronautics experience, Bill? And he's like, I used to build model airplanes with my dad, and my kids have multiple different shapes of air hogs, the things that you stick on the ground and you step on it and it launches.
Right.
Therefore, armchair expert. You're welcome. Next question.
I think no matter what, I think the sound aspect of this is the most damning evidence to the official story. If this craft or crafts were low enough to where going right overhead to where you, like your philosophy of the exhaust blocking out where it actually blacked out,
essentially creating a mirage,
they would have to be low enough for jets you could hear them.
True.
We're not talking 37,000 feet.
Yeah.
They would have to be low enough and you would hear the jets. So people reporting it being silent is very, very interesting. Like I said, I'm down with, we got a super secret plane.
Yeah, like when they'd had the B-2 around that time.
Well, B-2.
But even still, the B-2 was not quiet.
Right.
I stand on business to this day. I saw one of those fucking things when I was a kid, flew over my neighborhood. They are not silent.
No, but
they are stealth in that they are hard to detect on radar. They are not stealth in the fact that they are silent.
I've seen a few of the fighters fly over. I think on a flyover one time. They are not
Did
silent.
you hear fucking this? Down, bounce, down. Every aerial show should be done to that fucking song on repeat.
I think that's not to say that we don't have something that doesn't use jet propulsion. It is very possible there's some secret shit that we got going on that does not make noise. I don't know.
I mean, no matter what we talk about here, I'll probably die on the hill of this being something government related. If it was fucking aliens, and if it was aliens and they did this shit, they would have just landed and be like, "You're fucked."
Okay,
let's play fuck around and find out.
So 8:45 to 9 o'clock is when this thing, whatever it was crossing Glendale and moving into the Metro Phoenix area. Like I said, witnesses reported the lights continuing southeast along the I-10 corridor. Residents in East Valley suburbs reported the same silent V passing overhead. And that is also what's curious about this. We're talking different locations, not hundreds of miles apart, but different towns. People are reporting the same thing. Now,
and this is all in that 15-minute period?
Well, it don't take long for shit to fly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because because the 40 to 50 mile an hour.
But we don't know. I don't know exactly what how far it is between Glendale and East Valley suburbs. I don't know. It could be only 20 miles.
Let's find out. Go on. If it's astronomically large of a large breadth of distance, I'll let you know.
Let's see here. But it's interesting that everybody was reporting the same thing. Now, the further we get, I will say this, if this is figure the A-10 story, the Thunderbolt 2, if this is what it was, obviously they would have to start descending the further to land at the Air Force Base. So you would think,
well, because if it's only going that low, that speed, it's coming down anyway.
Well,
Theoretically, as far as
and
our idea of aerodynamics and jet
and it
propulsion
goes back to the altitude problem. The higher whatever it is, whether multiple planes or ET flying, the higher up it is, the slower it's going to look like it's moving. The further down lower it is in the sky, the faster it's going to appear going, because it's covering your vision a little bit. It's closer to you, to where, like you said, a jet plane, because we see them fly. We are in the outer circling pattern of CVG here. See them all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like
work. Yeah.
they move. They're probably going hundreds of miles an hour. But it just looks like they're crawling in the sky. But they're much higher up. So it's the altitude is where we need to really, really would be the best way to judge this, or what it was. But we don't have that information, because what was it, 18 years or 28 years ago at this point? Something like that.
Yeah, 36 miles.
So
from Glendale to East Valley. That's a chunk. If they're only going 40 or 50 miles an hour.
But like I said, we don't know. That's an estimate. Nobody had a fucking gun to them, a radar gun or a speed gun to them. We don't know. They're estimating. But and here's the thing, if they were A-10s, they're not going 40, 50 miles an hour. If they were, they would be coming down anyway, because they'd be falling out of the fucking sky.
That's not that astronomical. At 55 miles per hour, it would take between 27 and 44 minutes to travel that distance.
So, I mean, and these
outside the parameters that were set, but not astronomically, I would say.
But and as these times are probably not 100%.
Well, and we're also going as the crow flies,
Right.
Or as the UFO soars.
Now, at 9 p.m., it was reported to hit the old Tucson area.
Tucson?
The sightings were not as numerous as Phoenix, but a handful of people reported the same V formation. Reports of a V-shaped formation flying towards the south, consistent with the jet returning to the Air Force Base. So the official cover story, if that's what it is, or the official
strengthened.
Story, that does
lend a hand to it.
That jives with it.
Well said. I don't speak jive.
Operation Snowbird. I think we need to come up with better fucking code names, especially in the desert.
What's a snowbird? I think that's got a gay sex connotation.
Now basically Operation Snowbird was this A-10 Thunderbolt formation, doing a training exercise, landing at the Air Force Base in Tucson, and it puts them southeast of Phoenix at approximately about 9 p.m. So that does line up, but like I said, I'll get to a little bit later. I'm going to dive into the Operation Snowbird and the shenanigans that go along with it, because some shit just doesn't make sense with it. I'm not in the military, so maybe I'm wrong. It just seems a little weird to me.
We usually are.
We will get to it, I promise. The 10 o'clock light show, which is the later event. This is not the Flying V.
Totally separate?
Totally separate event. What people saw and even taped, that was back when, we didn't have fucking 97 phones.
I might have been wrong.
What?
The only thing that came up for Snowbird was people that go south for the winter. Oh. I thought it was like a gay dude that only, like a twink that only liked black guys or something.
Now, this later event, which, like I said, happened around 10 o'clock, which if you go with the jet, the Operation Snowbird, they had already landed. So I would not think.
So you're fucked there.
I would think they would have already landed.
Maybe they were getting tailed by the enemy.
But people reported seeing a row or arc of bright amber lights appearing in the sky in the southwest direction of Phoenix. Still the same, I believe the same direction. Or was it southeast? I don't know. Anyway, in the southwest of Phoenix. They seem to be hovering for several minutes and then going out one by one. Multiple home videos captured between 5 and 9 lights, with the exact number varying by vantage point and elevation. There we go. Around the valley.
Evolution.
Now, here
evolution
is what the official explanation for these are. A Maryland Air National Guard, whatever, convoy or what's a plane?
Flock
of A-10s, more A-10s, in Arizona for Operation Snowbird, reported performing flare drops on the Barry M. Goldwater Range.
Fair.
Okay, well, yeah, it's very plausible. Very plausible. And they reported this around 10 p.m. That is why they looked like hovering lights. These flares were LUU-2 series parachute illumination flares, ultra bright, whatever, 1.6 to 1.8 million candle power. I guess that's an official fucking measurement of
lumens.
Yeah. But couldn't it say lumens instead of candle power?
This was a long time ago, man.
With a 4 to 5 minute time of burn and a slow descent of 8.3 feet per second under a canopy.
So they dropped a bunch of fucking army men?
No, these
flares. The army men with the fucking parachutes?
No, these flares had parachutes.
Everybody tried to throw off their roof? They didn't do very well.
At 50 to 70 miles away, they would appear stationary against a dark sky.
Yeah, if they're only dropping 8 feet per second, that's
correct.
Not very.
But they would eventually go down. Let's be honest, they would descend.
And they'd reel around. Sugar, we're going down swinging.
And the official report says that as each descended behind the Estrella ridgeline, they blinked. That was a big typo. They winked. That should have been a B.
Like a butthole.
Yeah, they blinked out in sequence as they went, down past the ridgeline as they naturally descended. And that is what some of these experts, or some of these, I don't want to say experts, but people who say this was not a UFO type event, say that's exactly what you see on the home videos.
I wonder if anybody threw out a terrorism act.
No. Now, here are the counter arguments to the official narrative.
Terrorism.
Flares don't hover in a perfect formation, which we kind of talked about that. Witnesses insist that lights stayed stationary for a long time, unlike flares that would drift independently depending on the wind. So unless there was no wind at all, they just wouldn't come right down. They were, and anybody that's been in it could be windy here, across the street, and not windy over on this side of the street. So these could start jostling.
Yeah.
Around. So
I do have a counter argument
for
another one
for the counter for.
Well, no, to throw in
the official story,
because I've experienced this specifically myself.
Okay.
Where I was at a house party when all of us were underage. Actually, I don't think I was. I think I brought the beer. Statute of limitations. It was too long ago. But I remember I specifically remember because I was not drunk. Because I remember being the responsible one that drove a couple of my friends to White Castle. I think I was stoned, however. I do think I was stoned, however. What are you talking about? White Castle's the best food on the planet in the right scenario.
The right scenario.
And when you're really high or really drunk, those are both the right scenarios.
You better be really fucking hungry.
And this was
and have a lot of toilet paper.
But you have to think, this was back in the day when you could get buffalo chicken rings.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
In the fuck the ranch ones, but you get the buffalo chicken rings with the buffalo powder on them. Fucked me up 2 times on a Tuesday. Do you know you can get those as a sandwich with cheese on them too? Yeah. You asked me how I got so fat back in the day. But they will blow your asshole out. That's the counter argument. No. I remember being on the back porch at this house, and legitimately several of us were like, dude, we're looking at fucking UFOs right now. They were like moving in pattern and shit like that in the air. They were like slightly different colors, just lights off in the distance, moving in patterns, one like independently of each other, but in a cohesive nature. And we're like, you got to be butt fucking me like this White Castle's definitely going to do later. Which also did happen. That's not a conspiracy. My asshole bled for days. It was worth it. I enjoyed those sliders, and I'll do it again. Don't test me. But shortly after that night, I saw something about there was an event in a town north of here, or north of where I was, which is the direction in which I saw these astronomical beings. And it was a nighttime hot air balloon display.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably what that was.
Probably.
Gonna go out on a limb, say it probably wasn't UFOs.
Probably correct.
But that also made me, I just thought of this. I wonder how many people mistake the, from like certain parts of the suburbs to our way east. How many people get tripped out thinking they're seeing something crazy when all they see is the fucking AK flame?
It's kind of hard to. I mean, you have to be pretty close. You know it's a flame.
I could see it from my dad's house. It was very teeny tiny.
I mean, you gotta remember I lived right.
I didn't know what the fuck it was back when I was a kid.
I could see it from the house I lived in before.
It was the devil. It's my asshole after that Taco Bell. Or, well, no, I mean, I was talking about White Castle, but Taco Bell still fits the bill.
Now, we'll get back to the counter arguments.
Arby's.
The counter arguments for the official narrative of flares. Some of the witnesses say that they watched the lights for upwards to 10 to 15 minutes, far longer than the 4 to 6 minutes burn time of the particular parachute flares that the Air National Guard reported that they used.
Okay.
Which, it's an interesting point. Now, but it's time. Did they look at their watch? I would hope they would, but could.
But then again, you're going to be like one of us, because if we were like kind of drunk and seeing this shit, we'd be like, how long have we been looking at that? I don't know. If I look at my watch, then it's going to fucking go away.
I mean, it's interesting that 4 to 6 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes, that's a pretty big discrepancy. I mean, I would think somebody would know.
There's literally twice, like a difference of more than twice.
Right.
Twice as much.
I think that's an interesting fact. I don't think it proves anything either way.
It's fun to talk about.
Now, the flares with these parachutes descend steadily and leave visible smoke trails, especially when lit by their own intense glow. Nobody reported seeing that.
But are you really going to see that from a distance at night?
That I think the distance is what makes that a little funky. Now, naturally, the closer you are to the flares, you would see it, but you'd have to be pretty close.
Yeah, especially at night.
Now,
those flares, I doubt they're that fucking bright.
Now, the Maryland Air National Guard did not immediately confirm that it was a flare drop. For weeks, officials denied anything unusual even happened. Only later did the flare explanation surface. This seems very similar to the whole weather balloon in 1947.
The Roswell balloon.
Right. The longer it takes for you to come out, it seems like, okay, we got to come up with a story. Let's brainstorm this for a while.
Yeah.
To where if it came out the next day, I would give more, credit, give it more credibility, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you take,
because the more this shit goes on and the more people talk about it, the more confusing it gets.
That tells me that there might be something funny about this, and this almost seems like, we're just coming up with an explanation to shut these people up. I don't know. Let's see. Critics argue that these flares. What? What did I fucking write there?
I have no idea. I just read it too, and it doesn't make sense to me either.
Oh, that
a retrofit explanation, like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of
this
deal?
was just like
a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it was just okay. We got to come up with some. This is the best, kind of the swamp gas from back in Project Blue Book days.
White Castle.
Yeah. Some questions why an out-of-state National Guard unit was dropping training flares over Arizona anyway.
Because it's Arizona. You're not going to catch it on fire. The ground's still
and here's the
260
thing.
degrees.
How often do Air National Guards from other states do training missions? I would assume, I don't know.
I figure they just did them on computers.
I mean, I would think they would do, like, Arizona and Maryland, not very next door to each other.
Not at all.
You would think maybe somewhere over Illinois or even here in Ohio, Maryland might be run tests, but to fly all the way out to Arizona, I guess they wanted to use the desert. Maybe, I don't know. And they couldn't do it in Nevada because, we got Area 51, those aliens flying around there.
Yeah, you're stepping on their toes.
I think that's an interesting point. But
You'd think they would just do it over the ocean.
You would think. Yeah. I mean, Maryland's right there on the Atlantic.
That's right what there. Maryland does. Crab cakes, football, and drop flares.
Yeah. I do think that's an interesting, but it's not out of the question. Wouldn't think. If anybody was in the Air National Guard of Maryland, how often do they do
it over the Yankee Stadium?
Training exercises in other states, especially that far out west. I don't know. It's interesting.
Maryland falls under the Boston Red Sox fandom, doesn't it?
I don't think so. Maryland would be the Nationals. Closer to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I guess. Or maybe the Orioles.
Baltimore. Yeah, Nationals and Orioles and
Rockin' Robin.
Let's see. Local TV stations filmed known flare drops later for comparison, but many residents argued the color, intensity, and duration of the 10 o'clock light show didn't match up.
It's always about color.
Well, here's the thing. This is a great test, but I'm almost I can say with 100% certainty they probably didn't use the same
probably
flares.
Not. It's probably some dude in the fucking traffic helicopter literally dropping those fucking...
Sure they don't have the military-grade flares that Operation Snowbird were using if they were actually dropping flares.
They definitely didn't have A-10s.
I applaud them for the effort, but I don't think it proves anything. Now,
that was like trying to get your lady off by jacking off.
What's that got to do with fucking anything?
It's like an attempt, but it's not actually going to solve anything whatsoever. It's adjacent to what you're trying to do, but you're not going to pull it off.
Just for argument's sake, the 1997 lights glowed a steady amber orange. Some training flares appeared to be more white to yellow and flickered more obviously, which
I'm sure they differ. It's
here's the thing. They differ in color, but I've seen enough flares to know it wouldn't be a solid stream of light. There would be flickering, I would think, from what I've seen of flares. But like I said, it's not
the distance thing throws it off a lot too.
But you would still think it would be pulsating to a certain extent.
This is a good way to look at life, though.
Now,
different color, but they're still the same.
Okay, I think you're correct. Now, even after this flare explanation came out, some military pilots, local law enforcement, and hundreds of citizens insisted those weren't flares. Now, the hundreds of citizens go fuck off. I don't give a fuck in their opinion. But military pilots...
Oh, shit, excuse me.
And law enforcement...
Especially Fife.
To a certain extent, they would know. And they have experience in this. If they say if a military pilot told me those weren't flares, I would believe them. Because they have experience, they know what the fuck, they've seen them. They've probably worked around them.
What are you looking at?
Now, Governor Fife himself, a trained Air Force pilot, later said the lights he saw did not behave like any military flares he was familiar with. Now, Fife loses some credibility, but let's talk about him because he is an interesting figure of the story. Let's talk about his background. Two-term Arizona governor at the time of this incident in 1997. Like I said, it was a former Air Force captain and pilot. What he saw, by his later admission, he claimed that he personally witnessed on March 13th lights, a massive delta-shaped craft that followed that was otherworldly comet was hit from him.
Out of this world.
At the time, however, he did not publicly share that perspective. He did not. Why? Just bear with me. You probably seen this press conference he held on
I'd remember the name Fife.
On June 19th of 1997. So after a month of media frenzy and mounting public pressure, Governor Fife had a televised press conference. He began by acknowledging that the people were anxious and curious about the sightings, but then he said we had found those who are responsible.
The Chinese.
And what happened next? He had an aide in an alien costume, walked out in handcuffs. Oh, Fife laughed and made light of the situation.
Go fuck yourself.
You've never seen this?
I don't think so.
Oh, I've seen the press conference.
Eat a dick. That's so stupid.
Now, the public reaction
I'd have rather him said it was the Chinaman in those words.
The public reaction, many residents, some of whom were deeply unsettled by what they saw, felt dismissed and ridiculed. The press conference effectively signaled that the state wasn't taking the UFO reports seriously. Why? He mocked the event in his own words. In an interview years later, Fifey Boy admitted that the alien costume was a stunt just to be funny, basically. He said he wanted to calm the near panic atmosphere that was surrounding Phoenix at the time and reassure the public that all is good. He tried to be funny. He bombed.
Yeah, good job.
He also implied that as governor, it wasn't politically safe to say, I saw something strange and can't explain it.
Yes, it is.
No, you got 1997, completely different fucking time. It ain't fucking 2017, 2025. You gotta remember, just right now, in the past 5-6 years, it's been safe for pilots to say they've seen something.
Well, then he's a bad governor.
No.
He's dishonest.
Please. But pilots would lose their pilot's license, if they said they saw something. Up until very recently. We're talking past 2010.
So if they would have stepped up to the plate, we could have just straight up known that aliens are a thing by now.
We don't know that aliens are a thing.
They're a thing. Maybe not in this respect, but they're out there somewhere. Just chilling. Shit. I hope they don't have Taco Bell or fucking White House. Could you imagine if aliens came and the only thing they could eat on our planet was Waffle House or White Castle or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine that?
No.
Our toilets trying to deal with alien shits from White Castle?
All right.
Like, we only eat between the hours of 12 and 4 in the morning, and we can only have what you call sliders. Fuck.
Basically, like I said, it wasn't politically safe for him to say I saw a UFO or something I couldn't explain. I mean, we just now started having Congress admitting.
It's so stupid that it was like that.
Well, people weren't so understanding about it.
Goddamn fear.
In his own words, we were getting hundreds of calls. I thought I would inject a little humor in to calm everyone down. It went over like a fart in church, but that's okay. After leaving office in a federal conviction, resignation of a scandal unrelated to the lights. It wasn't. I don't know exactly what it was because I didn't really give a shit. He began to change his tune.
I'm going to look it up.
In 2005, he told the Daily Courier that he had actually seen one of the objects, a craft of unknown origin. It was enormous. In 2007 on CNN's Anderson Cooper 360 and in other interviews, he said it was very big. It was a very big craft that didn't resemble anything he had ever seen. It was otherworldly. He regretted not being more candid at the time. The governor also stated that as an Air Force officer, he had been seen plenty of military aircraft and that the Phoenix objects was unlike anything he had ever seen.
Damn. He was convicted for 7 counts of bank fraud, charged with defrauding his lenders as a commercial real estate developer, extorting a pension fund, and perjuring himself in a bankruptcy hearing. Good job, Fife. Went all in on that one. Go on.
Flip-flop gave the Phoenix Light a little extra mystery, but doesn't prove anything. Skeptics say that he was covering political optics and exaggerating later years to divert attention away from his legal troubles.
Yeah, it's pretty believable.
Believers see his eventual admission as proof that officials know more than what they've said there was.
No shit.
And they wanted to downplay the truth.
The truth is out there. Twilight Zone.
Now, just to finish this shit up, I'm not buying the fucking A-10 argument, the Thunderbolt argument. It was not a jet plane. If it was low enough to people were seeing something that big, for them to think that 5 planes were that big.
Yeah, 5 planes even super low is not that fucking big. Well,
they would hear the jet engine. So I'm not buying that bullshit. Now the flares, I can go either way. I think if the timing of what people reported seeing was closer to the 10 to 15 minute range, that kind of threw the flares out the window a little bit. A 4 to 6 minutes, that's a big jump. But I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't know. I mean, I doubt that it was aliens. I pretty much always err on the side of government experimental shit on stuff like this. Because my biggest thing is, like, if the aliens are here and they're doing stuff at night, they don't want us to see them, and we're not gonna.
Well,
I'd seriously doubt that they're flying along and they're like, damn it, Flurnap, you hit the fucking lights. We said it's stealth time. Go to your room.
I don't necessarily think that per se, but once again, I'm not a big, just because when we use the term alien, doesn't mean they're coming from Alpha Centauri. I mean, there is something to the dimensional portion of this. It might not be aliens as in from outer space, but aliens from another dimension.
Or either way, it's just like a safari. They're just going like, and if you look out the left, you'll see a really, really hot city on Earth that makes no sense because you can fry eggs on the sidewalk.
I mean, I don't think that the vastness of space, if they're coming from another galaxy, it's probably a problem. Unless they have figured out a way to open up a wormhole, which could be the portal, could play into the dimension portion of it.
And the more I dive into,
not traveling light speed.
The more I dive into a lot of the shit like that has to do with space, like the more I think that almost has to be it. Because like, I was just listening to a dude, I can't remember his name, but he was like the first civilian to like orbit the Earth like 3 times. I think he orbited it.
Glenn?
No, civilian.
Oh, civilian.
Yeah, he's just a billionaire.
Shepard, I think, was the first to do it. Project Mercury.
And like, and to like do a spacewalk outside of a vessel and shit like that.
That was Glenn.
And like the way he talks about like the expansiveness of space. He's like, you know, obviously you look one direction, you could see Earth from where he was at, but then he couldn't really because he was up there during an eclipse specifically. And he's talking about like how, like you look out into the expanse of space when he was outside of the shuttle or whatever the fuck, and he was like, explained it as it was almost like menacing and made you feel uneasy or like threatened looking out into space because it's just so big. Because like you can't even fathom how big it is. You're just looking into darkness for theoretically billions and trillions of unknown miles.
Yes.
So like even with crazy technology, I feel like there still has to be something, portals or black holes or something have to be some type of a fucking freeway between realms or sections of the universe.
If The only way I believe that these are extraterrestrials from another galaxy is if they were here already and they've been here since the beginning.
They're just out on a cruise.
Or they're living in a base under the old abyss. They're living in a base under the ocean.
Yeah. They're just out getting ice cream with the kids.
And they'll obviously going to pop up to do some exploring.
Valid. As valid as any other fucking
That-
thing because we don't know.
Because we've only explored, 10% of the ocean? We know
Something
more.
like that.
We know more about the moon than we know about our own ocean.
Allegedly.
So
Pretty scientifically provenly allegedly, but still.
So
I don't know. I mean, it could have been fucking anything.
And if you look at some of these videos that have been released by the military that have like the Tic Tac.
Yeah, because obviously there's no video of this.
Just home movies and shit of it.
Yeah, but then you get into the argument of like people being like, this is the home video of the alien in Brazil. It's so damning, and you watch and you're like, that's fake as fuck.
Well, see, most of those home movies it's harder to fake back in 1997 than it is digitally now.
Yeah,
much harder because they had a fucking tape in them.
Yeah,
it wasn't digital.
That's true.
But there are like the Tic Tac incident in what was it, 2004, I think. There was an underwater craft reported in that one too that the Tic Tac interacted with. They could see the whitewash of whatever something was underneath. Hadn't broke the surface yet. And then there's, I don't know, is it the Go Fast or the Gimbal? One of those militaries off the Atlantic side actually has the object.
I think that was the Gimbal.
The
Go Fast was off like San Diego or some shit, wasn't it?
No, I think they both were over the Atlantic. I think.
There's just so many.
But one of those in the Atlantic has whatever it is dives into the ocean.
Yeah.
So I think the underwater base is very possible, and they've probably always been here. Hell, they might have even been here before us. Maybe they're the who killed the dinosaurs.
They're the Anunnaki.
That's very possible.
Because they say there's a theory that Noah was half Anunnaki and Enoch.
Maybe something to it. I don't know. Very plausible.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And
yeah.
Oh, did I tell you? I meant to bring this up. I saw the funniest, most stereotypically immigrant thing last night.
Yeah.
I was going to the gym, and I went to the local corner store that we frequent pretty much daily. I don't know if you were there yesterday, and if you were, I don't know if you noticed this. There was a dude working there, and he was ringing me up, and I saw it. He was wearing this shirt that caught my attention and I'm looking at it, and again, this sounds racist, but it is very immigrant-esque. It said it was a Yankees shirt, but the font was in red, and the font wasn't quite right. It was like black, white, and red, and I was like, man, that kind of looks like the Bulls font almost. And I was like, that reads. A foreign dude has a shirt that says Yankees in the Bulls font. And then upon further inspection, underneath that, it said Yankees in red and white and black in a weird font. And underneath that, there was an NBA logo. And I was like, man, this is just getting more foreign as the time goes by, as I stare at this shirt.
Maybe there was I believe they are of Indian descent.
Or Pakistani, I'm not sure.
Middle Eastern, we'll go that.
Not the bad kind.
Maybe there's a pro basketball team called the Yankees there.
Well, and then
it would be a little weird, but
I continued to investigate. So it says Yankees in black, white, and red with an NBA logo underneath it. And then underneath the NBA logo, it said football team. And I was like,
pick a fucking lane, kid.
I was like, this is where we have the conversation of when you visit your homeland, do not buy American things because they are not correct. Unless it is a knockoff bag or shoes. Clearly, they have mastered making fake Louis Vuitton bags that are almost undetectable. But obviously, they have not mastered the art of every soccer mom across the earth that has a Cricut and a laptop of making a shirt that says the right fucking thing.
That is true.
I found it hilarious. I legitimately chuckled when I got into my car.
I mean, I think we could at least look at the Yankees. Do a little Google. Google's a thing.
Yeah.
Yankees, baseball.
If anything else, look up the Yankees and then the NBA logo, and then you'll see clearly there's not enough black men on the New York Yankees to make it a basketball team.
Why you got to be racist?
That's not racist. That's just factual.
Hey.
Like 86% of the NBA is black or some shit like that, which is cool. They're fucking way better at basketball than us. Like, they're arguably way better at most sports than us.
Hey.
Just saying. First time you saw a black kid like dunk a basketball or something like that in like junior high, kind of knew where, that's not our lane. We're not the masters of that particular talent, clearly.
All right. We're just going, it's all about, it's not about, I think you're making a little bit more of it what it is. It's about, it's kind of nature versus nurture.
Oh yeah, it's definitely taking a turn it tends to. But
I mean,
I think the overwhelming arc of this one, yes.
It's about drive.
It's a drive. It's like The Rock. It's about drive. It's about power. It's about whatever the fuck.
I mean,
public service announcement. Don't buy shit that's in English if you're not in an English-speaking country.
Well,
because clearly that one didn't work out very well. Unless it's just all-encompassing. It's all-inclusive.
I missed that one.
It's like the LGBTQ of shirts.
Trying to get one of us shot? Jesus.
What? It's inclusive.
Well,
it's like the resort of sports shirts. Right. It's the sandals of sportswear.
All right. That's going to wrap up this episode. I don't know what we're doing next week.
I have a feeling I do. I have just discovered a possible topic for next week today.
All righty. So we will see you next week. Take care.
That one might get a shot.
Sweet.
It did get a guy sentenced to 40 years.
Well, just know we'll never get monetized here on YouTube.
Oh, it's not like sexy stuff or anything like that. It's government stuff.
All right. We will see you next week. Take care and be good. Love each other.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Don't hate. Agree to disagree, kids.
Don't hate. Appreciate. Chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. Don't buy foreign English stuff.
Is this fucking thing even recorded? Okay, we're out of here. Bye.